Hello everyone, Misty Thompson here, spiritual coach. So today in this video, I want to go over the first way of 6 ways to prepare for the end of times. I did a video, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'll link it at the end about 6 ways to prepare yourself for the end of times. And again, we don't know when that's going to be. But under that, of course, I have 6 ways. So this is the first way, and I'm going to kind of get into detail with that. But before we do, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and or comment. I would be so grateful. It only takes a second, and it does wonders. Okay, so let's get to it. I like to get right to the point. So I went over 6 ways to prepare for the end of times. Again, we don't know when that's going to be, but we need to be prepared, right? There's been a lot of videos and things online about the end of times, being that there is a lot of spiritual awakening, there's a lot going on in the world that kind of begs the question, are we close to the end of times? So I thought this would be a great video. Also, under this step, under this way, this particular way of preparing yourself, it's important to know that this is definitely connected to spiritual warfare, because when we have the end of times, there's going to be that good versus evil spiritual warfare thing happening. And that's always been a thing, but it is so blatantly obvious right now. And it's so obvious to the point that evil's not even hiding it anymore. So that tells you it's just right there in your face. And so these ways, when I say the end of times, this is also a way to help you with maybe some anxiety around spiritual warfare. And if you are, would you be a victim of it? How do you protect yourself? So these 6 ways definitely come into play when you're preparing yourself for the end, not only just the end of times, but to protect yourself for spiritual warfare that's happening right now in this world. Okay, so first one is daily habits. So in the last video, I talked about the 6 ways. The first way was daily habits. And this is just a good way to get you in the frame of mind to where you're not at a point where you're kind of weak-minded or maybe a little lost, because that's when evil will come infiltrate your space. If they feel that they can manipulate you, they will. And that only happens to people that are negative, that are not believers, all of that. So daily habits, again, very important. And the first habit that is so important is prayer and meditation. Some people get worked up or get a little freaked out on the word meditation. Meditation is just being still, just keeping your mind open with no thoughts. And if you catch yourself thinking, telling it to float away on the cloud. And here's why. Prayer, it doesn't matter what you pray or how you pray, it's talking to God, whatever way works for you. Now, I am a firm believer that prayer and meditation, that's the conversation we have with our Creator, with God. Prayer is what we say to God, thanking Him for, what we have in our families and all of that. Our experiences. We also ask for protection and guidance, and that God will help us be the best that we can be. So we do ask that. We thank God, we ask for things, The next part of that is meditation, sitting quietly. You can pray, and if you're not sitting quietly, quieting your mind and listening, then what's the point? God could be talking to you and you're just not hearing it because your mind is full of unnecessary thoughts. So again, a conversation involves two parties. One who's communicating, one who's listening, and vice versa. So prayer is you talking. Meditation is you listening to what God says. And I'm not going to lie, meditation, it takes practice, but it can be done. Just do it, start for 30 seconds just to clear your mind, that kind of thing. Another way you can do it, that I consider in a way meditation, is just being present in the moment. So throughout your day, are you present in the moment? Are you, perfect example that I used to use when I worked full time, I would leave my house thinking, did I unplug the curling iron? I don't know. Did I unplug it? I'm not sure. So I would call home, hey, can you check the curling iron? And I know it was annoying, but I'd rather do that than have the house burned down. But I got to the point where I would just tell myself, the curling iron is unplugged. I would say it kind of out loud or really loud in my mind. So I would pay attention to it. I was present in that moment. So it's the same thing with everything we do. Now, is it easy? No. But you can start little. Start little by doing something like that. I locked the door behind me. When you do it, I've locked the door behind me. It kind of shocks your mind in a way to where you're focused on what you're doing right then and right there. So just being present in the moment, you can get messages from the Creator, from God, if you are in the present moment. Okay, the next way is reading something inspirational. That is huge. And that could be anything that's inspirational. I've gone through just like inspirational stories. They have the books that have the day, whatever, like today, November 12th, whatever day it is. And you look and that's what you read, and it's an inspirational story. Some of them have Bible verses in a story. Or you can do the Bible. You can do the Bible itself. So any of those ways is perfect. Just reading something inspirational because we want to lift our spirit up and we want to have a positive outlook. If we're not doing that, we are in the mind like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to do this, or I have to do this. And I can't believe this. I don't want to go to, that kind of thing. If we are in an uplifted moment, by reading something inspirational, then maybe, and I say maybe, but more than likely you will be in a better mood and you will have a more positive outlook. Okay. All right. The next one is journaling. So a lot of times when people are journaling, my clients, they'll tell me like, I don't know what to write. I have no clue. I'm not sure. And I've been there. And I'm still there. That happens to me still to this day. And that's okay. If I get stuck on what to write, I just say, thank you, God, for da, 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 da. And then I go from there. And then anything that comes to mind, ideas or things I need to remember to thank God for, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just write it down, write it down, write it down. I like the writing on the journal because it's the energetic way to get it through your body, and the energy is on a piece of paper, pen to paper. So I feel like that is important. So yeah, just journal whatever. And there's a lot of journaling prompts you can find online. I have journaling prompts, affirmations you can work on, all of that. And it's all over the internet. You just have to look and just, search. Or if you're having an issue, I need journaling prompts for anxiety or whatever it is. You'll find it on the internet. It's everywhere. So journaling is really, like I said, it's an important part. Before you know it, you're going to start writing and you're going to be like, I had no idea where this came from. That happens to me sometimes, not all the time, but I'll be writing and then I'll go back and read it and I'll be like, wow, that I didn't even realize I wrote that or wrote it like that, whatever. So yeah, journaling can be very powerful. The next one is grounding and surrounding. So it used to be, I used to call it grounding and shielding, I think I did. But that just seemed more of a defensive kind of energy. So I decided to call it surrounding. So I'm surrounding myself with positive, loving energy of the angels. The grounding is where you put your feet flat on the floor and you visualize that there are tree roots coming from your feet and they're going deep into the ground and it's kind of anchoring you to the ground. And the reason why this is important, and this is the best way that I can explain it, the way that it's shown to me and how because I'm visual. So when I ask for guidance and I need clarification, I get a visual picture in my mind. So the way I feel like it relates to is grounding, like you're grounding your house for lightning. Same thing. So if something negative or something, electric like lightning hits your house, when your house is grounded, it's just going to go straight to the ground. It's going to not really absorb it necessarily, just kind of carry it and take it to the ground where it can be absorbed in the ground. That's exactly what it is for us. We are grounding ourselves to the ground, so any negative that comes our way, it will be hit to us and it just won't even affect us. It'll go just right to the ground. I also visualize, I do a lot of visualization where there's light that comes through the top of my head and it's cleansing any toxic energy and it kind of sucks it out of my feet like a vacuum and it takes it to the ground. So you can do that as well. But the main thing is just grounding every day. So the energy around us that's negative or just something that's not great for us, it can just be moved to the ground with the least amount of impact on you. So the surrounding part is I visualize like a bubble around me. And when I first started doing it, I had to do it like this because I'm visual. So I had to visualize myself surrounding myself with energy. Now I can just kind of be like, surround myself and then it's just kind of like a shield. So same thing for you. Just surround yourself and you don't have to know what angel to ask for or what to say. Just say, God, please surround me with your love and your guiding light to protect me from all that is not good for my being. Because you want to protect your energy. So you just want to ask God to protect your energy. And just, it's that's a pretty good way of doing it. Just surrounding yourself with God's energy and done. So to me, grounding and surrounding is, I don't want to say the most important one, but it's the one that really is the biggest. I would say that was the biggest one to do. If you don't do anything else, the 3 things I would have you do if you don't do anything else: ground, surround, pray. That's it. I mean, if you can't do anything else or you're not feeling it or whatever, ground, surround, pray. That's it. Okay. And the 5th one, I added a 5th one more recently. Because I found that if I watch something funny in the morning or if I laugh, that kind of brings my energy up. That kind of puts me in a good mood. Or if I'm singing or dancing and my family knows I'm always singing and I'm dancing around, and it brings my energy up every time. So with those 5 ways, that is the first step in helping you prepare for the end of times. And not only that, help you to, I guess, defend. I don't like that word because it's like, again, it's a little energetically, but defend yourself from that evil, that spiritual warfare that's going on, and the evil, so it doesn't infiltrate your being. So with that, I will be connecting with you a couple of days from now, I guess, so I can do the second way of 6, of what to do to prepare yourself for the end of times. And again, this helps with spiritual warfare. All of these help with spiritual warfare. And I'm going to be getting into the second way, which is, oh yeah, I wanted to make sure I had it in the right order. Becoming familiar. You don't have to be an expert, but being familiar with the book of Revelation. Okay, so I will be connecting with you soon. I am sending you all so much love and light. And if you're interested, hit up my website, Misty M. Thompson, to learn more. I'm sending you all so much love. Have a good one.